Pete, do me a favor, will you? Pick me up in the morning. This being without a car is murder.
What's wrong with yours?
It needed a tune-up, so I let Mr. Markovsky talk me into letting the boys in his automotive shop class take a crack at it. That was 6 days ago.
6 days for a tune-up?
They got a little carried away. After they tuned it up, they decided to put on high compression heads, a dual exhaust, 4-barrel carburetors, and a racing camshaft.
You know, I can hardly wait to see you burning rubber in the parking lot. When's it gonna be ready?
Markovsky promised me tomorrow for sure. Oh, boy. I better get back to school. For the PTA dinner in the cafeteria.
If you're supposed to eat in the cafeteria, why'd you just eat here?
Need you ask?
I'll give you a lift.
No, relax. Finish your dinner. I'll walk. It's not very far. If I'm lucky, I'll get mugged on the way. See you tomorrow.
Pretend you know me. Please, somebody's following me.
Who, hired killers or enemy agents?
I was on the bus and this man sat next to me. A nice-looking man, and we began to talk, and then he made some suggestions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I don't know why I just didn't tell the bus driver, but instead I got off the bus, and so did the man. He's been following me for a couple of blocks.
Is he still out there?
Well, I don't see him now. I guess it's okay. Thanks.
Wait a minute, he may still be out there.
Look, I've imposed enough on you already.
You asked me to pretend I know you, right? Why pretend? I'm Pete Dixon. Sit down.
Leslie Gleason.
Hello, Leslie.
Hi, Pete. Look, I'm sorry about this. I mean, most times a thing like that wouldn't shake me up so much.
Don't apologize. Why shouldn't it?
Well, let's just say it's not the first time a man's done that. If I'd been in my own territory, I'd be able to handle it okay.
You're from out of town?
I'm staying with relatives until I find a job.
Your relatives? Are they expecting you for dinner?
Not really. Why?
I'll drive you home after you have something to eat here.
Really, Pete, I don't...
Any argument, and I'll send you right back out there.
Call me soon, okay?
I don't think I'd better.
You're not married.
No, but I am involved.
You don't act like a man who's involved.
Leslie, you're a very beautiful girl, very appealing. But like I told you, I'm involved.
If you say so.
I'm being straight with you.
Have it your way. I had a lovely time. Don't lose my number.
Oh, good morning. How was the ballet last night?
It's pretty. Funny how you always have something to do when the ballet's in town. Did you get all your papers graded?
Not quite. I was planning to take you to dinner at Emilio's. I'll tell you all about it later.
Now, what did you do that calls for Emilio's on a Tuesday night? I mean, it can't be anything good, right? What happened?
This isn't the time or the place.
Oh, wow. It's that bad, huh? What are you looking at?
I'll tell you at dinner.
This is going to be a long dinner. Looking for somebody?
Have you got an older sister? So that was you last night.
That was me, all right.
Set me up for that, didn't you?
Well, let's just say I planned it that way.
All that stuff about being followed and being from out of town, looking for a job.
Pretty convincing, huh?
Very convincing. Why?
Oh, would you have been interested in me if I told you I was a 12th grader?
I thought I made it clear to you last night that I was involved.
After you kissed me.
I'm not going to play your game.
Hi, Mr. Dixon. Oh, you know my friend Pam, don't you, Pete? She's in one of your classes.
Pam?
We'll have to continue our discussion later in a more private place, right?
Wrong.
Oh, there you are, Pete. I mean, Mr. Dixon. I just wanted to tell you that Mrs. Greenlay is sick today, and Mr. Coughlin's letting me take over her 4th period history class. Isn't that sensational?
See you later, Pete.
So I was wondering if it's all right with you if I miss your 3rd period class. Hey, she called you Pete.
I noticed that. Do you offer your counseling services to teachers as well as students?
You have a real knack for giving me a nervous stomach lately. Does this have to do with what happened last night?
And also what happened today.
Today? Well, let's start with last night and work up to it.
I had dinner last night with Mr. Kaufman at Bob's Broiler.
Oh, I admit, a little jealous, but not distraught.
Kaufman had to leave. That's when this girl showed up.
What girl?
Just this girl, sitting in the booth with me.
You mean you just looked up and there was this girl sitting in your booth next to you?
She asked me to pretend I knew her. She said she was being followed by somebody who was on the bus with her. She came into Bob's Broiler for help. I was it. I wouldn't make up a thing like this. I just thought I'd tell you so you'd know.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you told me.
Here's more. I felt sorry for her. She seemed so upset. So I bought her dinner and drove her home.
Like I said, I'm glad you told me.
There's more. Look, Liz, it really didn't mean anything. I mean, you know, just the circumstances.
Are you trying to tell me that you...
No. No, she just kissed me, that's all. Didn't mean anything. I told her I was involved with you.
I certainly appreciate that.
Look, honey, try and accept this as the truth because there's something else. Today I found out she was a student here at Whitman High. She set me up for the whole thing. Now I've got to figure out a way to handle it. Well, this is the place where you're supposed to say something.
Hi, everybody. Guess what? You know that class I took over today? It went just great. Oh, Pete, there's something that I heard today that I think you ought to know about. There's this terrible lie going around about you and some girl that's apparently true. Oh, no, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, wow. You really had me going there for a minute. I mean, even if there wasn't anything to it, no matter how innocent on your part, you could really get into trouble. I mean, what the defense would you have if some girl decided to yell rape? Well, it's true. It's not fair the way a girl tries to take advantage of a male teacher.
She's right, Pete. Maybe somebody ought to have a talk with that girl.
You want me to? I guess not. How about Mr. Kaufman? No. How about you?
Come in.
You want to see me, Miss McIntyre?
Come in, Leslie. Sit down. I assume you know why I called you in.
You assume right.
This is for your own good. I want you to understand it.
Oh, sure.
I'm trying to say that what you're doing is potentially damaging to yourself as well as to Mr. Dixon.
I think Pete can take care of himself without your help, Miss McIntyre. And I know I can.
Look, I can understand your being infatuated with Mr. Dixon. He's a very attractive man.
Ain't that the truth?
But believe me, you'll get over it. Become interested in boys closer to your own age.
I'm not interested in boys, Miss McIntyre. Not that it's any of your business, but I was engaged to a man much older than Pete.
You were?
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you ask Pete if I seemed too young for him last night?
What are you trying to do? Hold that over his head? Use it against him to get something you want?
Don't you wish that was it? Something simple like blackmail for better grades or something? You could handle that, couldn't you, Miss McIntyre?
What do you want, then?
Pete. That's what I want.
I really blew it. I broke the cardinal rule of student counseling and let myself get emotionally involved. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
She put me right on the defensive from the minute she walked into my office. Leslie Gleason may only be 17 years old, but she's got the mind of a 28-year-old.
And the body, too.
She's not going to give up so easy, Pete. Hold on to your hat, but she plans to marry you.
Well, I've got news for her. If I get married, the girl isn't going to be 17.
Oh, I don't know. You might enjoy it. You could go to Disneyland on your honeymoon.
Yeah, when you come to think of it, she's not that much younger than you are, Pete. 11, 12 years. She's obviously all wrong for you.
Right.
Maybe you ought to talk to her.
No. I'll just cool it.
She may make trouble for you if she doesn't get what she wants.
I'll take that chance. Secretary of State Seward bought Alaska from Russia for less than 2 cents an acre. The American people thought we'd pulled off a shrewd deal. Richie?
That was wrong. They thought Seward was stupid from buying a lot of useless land. They really put him down.
I wasn't aware Alaska was so funny.
We weren't laughing at that.
What were you laughing at then? Would you like to tell us about it?
No.
Read chapter 27. We may have a quiz tomorrow.
I got a message for you from somebody. She wants you to meet her at Bob's Broiler at 7. Unless you want her to be drastic.
Okay. Listen carefully while I give you the answer, because I want to make sure you get it straight. Are you ready? It goes like this. No.
That's it?
That's it.
She's not going to like that answer.
I didn't like that question.
I really do admire you. So much. So much. I really do.
Thank you. These go in the dropouts. Why?
Do I admire you?
So much.
Because of the way you're handling this whole thing.
Well, if you want to know the truth, I'm not handling it so well at all. I mean, think about it. What if Leslie decided to spin a little story for Mr. Kaufman? What would happen to Pete?
That's right. Oh, even if she told it straight, it would sound bad.
And if she wanted to give it a little color, Pete could get life.
Well, he did buy her dinner, and he did drive her home, and he did kiss her.
She kissed him.
Well, when there are four lips together, who's to say which ones are doing the kissing? Oh, I mean, you know and I know, but will Mr. Kaufman know? Oh, I'm sorry. I promise I'm not going to talk about it again. I promise. Where do these go?
What are they?
Miscellaneous complaints about teachers?
Oh, Mr. Dixon, Pete, you're going to be around for about an hour? I'd love a ride home.
Is your car in the shop again?
No, still. The boys did a little body work on it. Now it needs a new paint job.
What color?
I don't know. What do you like? Battleship gray or candy apple tangerine?
Hi there, Mr. Dixon. I wonder if I could talk to you. Oh, hello, Mr. Kaufman.
Leslie Gleason, right?
That's right.
How's everything, Leslie?
Not too good. That's why I want to talk to Mr. Dixon.
Oh, well, if he can't help you, my door's always open.
Maybe you better take it up with Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, but I'd rather discuss it with you first. Oh, no offense, Mr. Kaufman.
No, that's all right. I've got to go back to my office anyway and requisition some volleyballs. You won't forget to pick me up.
In an hour.
Good.
Maybe we should go somewhere more private.
No, thank you. I'd rather stay right here.
Afraid you might be tempted if we're alone?
Look, Leslie, I told you, I am not interested.
You were sure interested the other night. I wonder if Kaufman would like to hear about that.
Leslie, if you're looking for romance, you're going about it wrong.
Look, Pete, I don't want it this way. You can't just walk away from me.
Watch me.
You walk away from me now, and we're going to have us a lover's quarrel right here in front of everybody. I can make a pretty good scene if I have to.
All right. You can come with me if you want to.
Where we go?
Mr. Kaufman's office.
No, you can't.
Well, yes, I can. We're going to settle this once and for all.
Mr. Dixon, I'd like to speak to Leslie alone. Would you leave us for a few minutes, please? No, then. Would you leave that door open, please?
What you doing?
Oh, just checking up on the old bulletin board.
Mm-hmm. I already heard about your little scuffle out on the quad.
It doesn't take the jungle telegraph long to spread the word, does it?
So what's happening?
Has anybody asked you to the senior prom lately?
No, but I bet I can guess who's asked you. Come on, give. What's going on?
Blood contributions are down 10% this year.
They're going to be up 10% if you don't answer my questions.
You can come too if you want.
So I said, what if I told you that you could get Mr. Dixon fired if he allowed himself to become involved with you? She said, not if we don't do anything in school, he couldn't. You know she's right, don't you? What you do on your own time is your business. Unless it's a morals offense.
Thanks a lot.
Well, what about her parents? Maybe we should call them in.
Oh, I tried that, too. Do you know what she said? Oh, fine, call them in. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. I wanted to ask her, is there anybody she particularly feared that I could call in? Leslie Gleason is a very shrewd young lady.
Diabolical is more like it.
Oh, come on. She's no Mata Hari. She's 17 years old.
Where?
Somewhere.
Pete, take my advice. Keep as far away from her as you can. Fortunately, she's not in any of your classes, but don't ever let her get you alone. Does she have your phone number?
I hope not.
Good. Well, just in case, get it changed. And unlisted. Get an unlisted address, too, if you can. If it wasn't so late in the school year, I'd get her transferred to another school, but that's liable to cause more problems than it solves.
I want you to have her transferred.
But I just told you.
Not to another school. Into my history class.
Why?
You took the word right out of my mouth. Why?
It's time Leslie found out she was 17.
How did you do it? How'd you get in his class?
Go figure it, child. One day he makes like he wants to shake me, and the next day, here I am. I know I didn't arrange it, so you know who did.
Good morning.
Well, all I can say is don't fight it, honey.
Did you hear about him and Leslie?
What about him? Hope you'll enjoy being in our class, Leslie.
Oh, I know I will.
It ain't my business. Take a seat, Bernie. Andrew Johnson was the only president in the United States who was ever impeached. You take notes in here.
Oh, I never take notes. I usually manage to get by without them.
Not in here, you don't. Richie.
Johnson wasn't really impeached. They tried to impeach him, but it didn't work.
Helen.
He was impeached. Impeachment means being charged with doing something wrong, whether you're found guilty or not.
Is that right, Mr. Dixon?
That's right. But why was Andrew Johnson impeached? Leslie,
What?
why was Andrew Johnson impeached?
Because he was a bad president.
That's the obvious answer, but not necessarily the right one. Al.
The radicals in Congress were bugged because they wanted to punish the Southern leaders after the Civil War.
About Johnson's impeachment. 36 votes. What does that mean? Helen.
2/3 of the Senate, the amount of votes needed to convict Andrew Johnson.
36 votes and what else? Bernie.
And he was convicted.
We all know that, but what's at stake here?
The presidency?
Right. 36 votes, and the President of the United States is thrown out of office for the first time in history. 19 votes and he's still in. One man's vote can throw it either way. So somebody's under a lot of pressure. Isn't that right, Leslie?
Oh, if you say so, Mr. Dixon.
Well, what do you say?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Okay. Johnson's impeachment. One man's vote either way and he's out or he's in. So who's the pressure on? Think about it, Leslie. We'll wait.
The man who had to make the deciding vote?
Right. One man whom nobody had ever heard of before suddenly has the power in his hands to make history. That's pressure. Very good, Leslie. Class dismissed.
See you later. Is this your way of getting even?
What do you mean?
Well, you were pretty rough on me today.
I was rough on Bernie, too. But you didn't notice that, did you?
You and Bernie don't have anything going.
Oh, yes, we do. I'm a teacher, and he's a student. That's what you and I have got going.
Okay, I got your message. Like you said the other day, it takes two. And I don't want to be in your class anymore.
You can stay. There's no reason for you not to.
I know. That's why I want to go. Bye for now, Mr. Dixon.
You know, one of the mysteries of civilization is why so many girls fall in love with their teachers. I mean, when you think about it, the picture of a teacher as an ideal romantic figure is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? He's got an unexciting job, a pitiful salary, very limited prospects for the future. Now, why would a swinger like Leslie Gleason fall for a man like that?
In case you hadn't noticed, he's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh.
Oh, incidentally, thank you for backing me up as far as Leslie was concerned.
Well, I usually go along with the teacher, unless the evidence to the contrary is pretty conclusive.
Like what?
Well, like a case I handled a few years ago. Now, that girl had pretty strong proof.
Oh, what was it?
A boy, 7 pounds, 3 ounces.